Hello, everyone. Once again, thank you for joining in. We have some great people joining us for this session from across the world, and they will be talking about tying the knot in a heritage property. And now, starting off today, we have Rita Favero from Italy. She's the owner and founder of Il Tesoro. We've Prerana Saxena, founder and CEO of Theme Weavers International India. We have Sanjay Nischal, general manager of Lohagarh Fort Resort and Spa, Jaipur, India. We have Edgardo Zamora, owner of Revelry event designers from USA, and has recently done the weddings of Britney Spears and Paris Hilton. And thank you to Arun Bablani for correcting us to him. We have Indu Raghavan, who has done various destination weddings and corporate events in Sri Lanka and now in Dubai. And last but not the least, we have Akhil Mathur, corporate strategy advisor, NB Lifestyles and Kuber Hotels, and David of Cigar India's official partner. He will also be our moderator for the session. Thank you everyone for joining, and over to you, Akhil.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Very good evening.
Good evening. Someplace it is morning, and it is still India. It's 9 o'clock, so maybe dinner time for a few people. As Shivangi has already introduced our panelists, I am very happy and proud to be associated with Espousal for giving this opportunity to be part of this online event. And without further ado, I would like to start introducing my panelists who are there right now. And hope you all will enjoy the session. We have Miss Rita Favero and
Thank you. Thank you.
Sanjay.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So we have Rita, who is from Italy, Il Tesoro. Very extensive and beautiful heritage property. I was going through her work. It was originally built in 1932. It's a family farm, and over past 24 years, she and her husband, and with the help of mother, I think they are restoring the grounds to become the most beautiful place for the travelers, locals, and obviously why we are here for interested romantic weddings. This place was actually, she had mentioned in her website that it is more on the Roman culture, which was there. So, in case somebody is interested going to Italy and experience the old, I think it's before Romans actually, uh, I'm sure you will give her a call. Secondly, I would like to invite and introduce Prerana. I think everybody in India knows her very well. Pioneer in heritage weddings. Uh, Started almost in 2010, the first wedding she did. And that was one of the most known wedding in Rambagh Palace in Jodhpur, right?
Jaipur.
Jaipur, sorry, Jaipur. She was a banker before. I don't know what prompted her to come back to this beautiful line. And she has done more than 250 projects. And now her sister is also part of the event company who runs the show. Now, Indu is from Sri Lanka, now based out of Dubai. And she has been very active in corporate sector initially and now doing weddings all over the world, especially in Middle East and other regions, and definitely India. Now I will introduce Sanjay Nischal. Sanjay is the general manager for Lohagarh Resort and Spa. This fort belongs to Mr. Bharat Singh Lohagarh. He is from royal family of Sinsanwar of Bharatpur, a very extensive, beautiful property. He has a hospitality background of over 19 years, running heritage properties. And in the end, I would like to introduce the Hollywood man himself. Very extensive profile. Almost, I cannot, if I start going, it will take 1 hour. He's the guy who is from Revelry Event Designs, very famous for celeb weddings, and his designs are exquisite. Jennifer Lopez, Christina Aguilera, Brad Pitt, Jordan, so you name it, I think the list is huge. And he has been featured in Harper Bazaar, New York Times, LA Times. So we have one of the most Hollywood man, and we all love Bollywood. So I'm sure people who are listening would like to enjoy what he has to say about tying a knot in a heritage property. So without further ado, let's start. And my first question goes to Prerana, who is based out of India, and just to know, in your opinion, what kind of heritage properties you would like to go for once your client or the wedding, the host or the bride or the bridegroom like to choose?
So, very few people know this, but I've been born and brought up in Jodhpur, okay, which is a royal city. I actually grew up seeing palaces and forts. Rather, we had a lot of my father's business. We had a lot of clients coming from abroad, and I was almost like a tourist guide for everyone who came in, and I went to the fort every day. So my love for heritage property grew from there. And while we do weddings all over, but we always suggest heritage properties. The kind of heritage properties I feel like a fort or a palace, which already has a lot of character, while also seeing the essence, whether it's possible to do an event there or not do an event there, is what it is. That does that destination have an airport? How far is it from the airport? What are there any sound restriction? How's the accessibility for anyone having any handicap, like wheelchair and all that? So we see all these things and then suggest a heritage property. Also, are there rooms for guests to stay, either inside the heritage property or outside? Like Umid Bhavan is one of our favorite from Jodhpur that we always end up going to. And also, I feel that the heritage property has that vibe because the royalty always stays there or has stayed there. So it always has that vibe of festivity.
So in a nutshell, for you, heritage properties are ones which have history behind it, maybe royalty. But I would ask Rita about this. Like, if we define heritage, what exactly for you is heritage? Because in India, heritage means mostly with the palaces, forts, and other places like that, linked with some part of history. Did you hear Rita?
So, about the definition, I think that is more. Yes, I can. And you can read me.
Yes, yes. So,
Esatto.
yes, we can.
Okay. So, about the definition of about the definition of heritage property, I think that is most important how feel. The feeling, is the very, very important. And then in Italy, for me, it's very easy to find there property. I live in the place, like you introduced me, there is thousands of history, Tuscan romance. So the population until it's possible to define earth. All Italy is Italian place, location, heritage, on the open air. So it's important to, I think that when arrive, feelings, and then the tradition is more very important part, and so is very, and the it's like a mix. About the heritage, it's a mix like modernity, this and traditional. And so, for example, I Indian because it's a lot of people, and then more services. I'm a lot romance I love maybe beautiful. This is excited also to organize something like it's like a mix when you in to diciamo this and more. I think because I'm Italian, where you can put also la dolce vita, no? So it's a perfect, rich, and add also the heritage wedding location for perfect wedding.
Okay. Thank you, Rita, for the
It's
answer.
not
Now I'll take
good.
Sanjay's viewpoint on heritage because you can see his background. It talks straight away a fort wall behind him. I think some shields or something behind him. So, Sanjay, you have been in one of the resorts which is inspired by history and in making. So, in terms, what do you call yourself? A resort or a heritage resort or a spa resort or a wellness resort? Because when somebody is coming in, some planner or some bridegroom decide, what do you think your USPs will be, and how you define in your words heritage?
First of all, Khamagani everyone from the Lohagarh, Jaipur. As far as the definition is concerned, Prerana has given some sort of information on that. But as far as the USP is concerned of the resort, we have like the heritage culture, we have the modern amenities, we sell spa and naturopathy also in this resort. So this is mixed kind of culture or the experience we are sharing with the guests. As far as the wedding is concerned, they will get all royal feel when they are in the palace, and this is something different experience we are sharing with the guests. And those who are coming from abroad, they love to do the weddings in Rajasthan in heritage patterns. So keeping in mind, we have come up with the traditional some sort of points like on the Jal Manda, we created one Jal Manda where we organize the fairas or the lagan, bride and groom, and that is water body, and that water body is under the tree. This is the people tree, which is somewhere 300-year old tree. So as per the Indian mythologies, all this is the one of the best location to do the all rituals for the gut bandhan.
Okay.
Same like we have the very different facade for the Varmala concept. So this is all a very different feeling, which the heritage and the modern culture is there. So this is what we are selling to the guest, and we are almost, we can say, we are doing very good and big weddings in our resort.
So I saw a couple of videos on your website as well. Uh, Coming to Indu and Edgardo, sorry. Edgar, in US, these heritage sites are more like museums and more like palaces. If you go to Eastern Europe kind of places, what do you think? Like in India, when people do a large weddings, they go to Italy. Some they book some chateaus and all that, and take Indian chefs and everyone and do a huge, big budget weddings. In your capacity, like you have done so much, so many weddings, I think list is huge. What do you think about these heritage time not in a heritage property? In your opinion, when you are based out of US?
When I base out of US, well, I have done.
You have two mics on, I think.
No, I have
Somebody has
only
to go
one.
mute. Yeah,
I have only one.
yeah.
So Anyway, I have done weddings abroad in heritage properties. And most of the time, what I like to do is like go with the flow with the location. Of course, this is kind of an experience for all the guests and also for the hostess, the groom and the bride. And I think in America they like to find properties like that because we don't have so much. We have more iconic properties,
Yes.
right? Like the Kodak Theater, where they give the Oscars, or properties like the Beverly Wilshire Hotel by the Four Seasons, what is the Pretty Woman Hotel was in the movies. Um, Also, we have the studios, was is very iconic places where I don't know, Mary Monroe, Greta Garbo was filming, and we have properties where like all these celebrities they used to hang in the past. Also, is part is not only abroad; it's only locally. So I think is wonderful when we put on the table something we are not available to suit our clients all the time.
Okay. So I can safely say that for us in wedding business and hotel business and for the business of making two people unite, I can easily say tying a knot in a heritage property slash iconic property slash places of their own choice, where they feel happy and their entire dreams come true. Indu, what about you? How were you able to do heritage properties in weddings in India or some other places like Thailand, Indonesia? Because though those places also have a couple of heritage sites and maybe iconic properties. So just give
Yes.
us a sense about how you have been targeting these kind of weddings.
Well, first of all, I would like to say hello to everyone. Good day, good evening, and thank you for having me here. Well, heritage for me, actually, I see it as something that we've preserved from our own cultures from a very long time to be something that is valued and would like to bring forward in life in our very important moments, such as our weddings. And the properties that you see in different countries carry their own heritage of their own cultures. So it's a very significant impact to choose the right heritage venue for your wedding, because every venue tells its own story and every wedding says its own story. So it's very important to choose the right venue for the right wedding, and the couple itself says their own story at the same time. So when you bring it all together, that brings the magic out of it.
Okay, now moving on to next question. So actually, in this entire panel, we have uh, three hotel hospitality guys, and Edgardo and Prerana and Indu being the specialists for executing lifestyle, heritage slash iconic weddings. So I have been a hotelier myself for almost 32 years, and last assignment was with Marriott as general manager. Now I am into my own work, working as a consultant. This really attracts me a lot because I have all my life I have been around event planners and wedding planners. Uh, right from 1994, I was working with event planners and the wedding planners in those days. And especially in India, we have a couple of them, like Sumit gave a keynote address yesterday. So I met him in 2003, 2004. So my question now is for the event space people, the wedding planners, Prerana, Indu, and Rita. Prerana, Indu, and Edgardo. Uh, when you talk to a client, how important is the budget? Yes, I know it is important because then you plan to choose the destination, definitely. But everybody, when they start, I have $100. I want wedding in $100. End of the day, it goes up to 250, because everybody plans in a uh, they give in installments the increase in the values of hosting a wedding. So, starting with you, Prerna, how and at what time you of talking to the bride, bridegroom, or the family, you decide that the budget, kind of budget, and if they don't have a location, how you make them understand that, or you straight away ask for the budgets. Prerna,
Yeah, hi.
did you hear my question?
Yes, of course I did. I did. So basically, what happens with us is we work on a fee-based model. So first we come on board as their planners, then we do a word map with them. That what are they looking for? What's the kind of vibe they're looking for? Of course, if they say royal, palatial, then we start finding out that where are they based, how much distance are they ready to travel. So those are the things that we zero down on the location. And then, of course, we also say that every heritage property comes with a certain budget. Now, where are you? Are you in the A-listers, or are you okay to go a level lower? Where are you looking yourself to be placed? And we take a rough budget before we start scouting for a property, because properties are in various ranges. There's no use sending a query to a property where we know it will not materialize. And I do not like to give queries to any property or set false hopes just for the heck of doing it. I'm very sure that if this query goes, it will go to maybe three properties at max, and one of them have to be chosen, because we zero down, we work a lot, understand the requirement, and then only send the ask for a quote from the property.
All right. What about you, Edgardo? How you what is your process of reaching? I know your all clients are very rich and famous. They have millions of rupees or dollars, but still, everybody must have, or they say, I want this, a done deal, and whatever the budget is, I don't care.
Well, don't be confused, huh? Because everybody is down to the money and down to the penny, and even celebrities, because they're celebrities, they want a lot of them, not all of them, but many of them, they want a thing for free. What is completely set me off, because I work for money, like we all do, and like they do also, because they don't work for an Instagram shot or just a credit in small letters in the show. No. For me, money is very important, and this is one of the things I really said from the beginning. And also, when I do a proposal, I would like to add extra money, because we always went above and beyond, and and the clients always asking for more. Most of my clients. So this is why in my proposal I like to add a 20% more of the real budget to don't have problems at the end. Money is very important, because money can break a relationship with your client, and can break also your bank account if you don't have enough money to pay the bills. So it's something I set up from the beginning, because today with Instagram and Facebook and everybody, all these media outlets, people like to have all. They want to have everything. They want to have the Taj Mahal in America, and that costs money. And it's very nice to see in the Instagram, but if you don't have money to reproduce or do something similar,
No, I
you
was
know,
seeing in one of
in this
your
life you can do it. No, in
sorry,
this one.
sorry, I was seeing in your one of your introduction that you had created a theater or something similar to some iconic building itself.
Uh, can be. It's like I have done so many shows. Yeah,
Okay.
it's possible. Um, yes, it's possible.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Sanjay, when you budget and give it to the client, that this is the price, take it all. You book it like for 2 days or 3 days, whatever is the plan. You give a all-inclusive package. Uh, Outside vendors are coming. How the aesthetic part of value of the property, and this question I will ask Prerana also and Indu also. Aesthetic value of the entire property, do you think these heritage properties get damaged, or sometimes because of heavy lighting, heavy shows? For example, in Rita's farm, if you start doing so much heavy work, maybe her farm gets uprooted, especially the lawns and everything. So how you try to safeguard those things?
Very fairly, we have the policy now. All heritage property or palace, they have the policy and some sort of do's and don'ts which we apply. All the outsider vendors, those who are not in the panel, so we make sure that they will get clear guideline from the property. They follow that norms. That is the only way. And we have certain team, those take care the property, as well as they make sure that guests not get disturbed.
Okay. No, if somebody is buying out, so disturbing point does not arise. But yes, I
No,
understand
it
look
is
at
it
local
is
people.
it is because buying is one thing, but due to the sometime they choose or they select wrong vendors sometimes, and then problem starts. So
Okay.
in that case, we are the people who control this, and we make sure that they goes with the delighted and happy mood.
Okay, thank you. Indu, what about you? What do you think about the aesthetic value and keeping the place, as you said, it is a value which preserved in the local culture. Do you think, like somebody wants a Taj Mahal wedding? I remember there's no wedding allowed, but a concert was allowed of Yani 20 years back in India, and I was there. It was like 600 meters across the river, and that also created quite a few problems. So how you have you come across such kind of things, or how when you proceed to do a wedding, what precautions you take?
Well, Akhil, I think it's very important to understand what is the setup you're going to do, what you're going to be executing there, and then actually conveying this to the team and the vendors and selecting the right vendors to execute the entire production of the setup. And then, before all of this, it's very important to understand the policies and the do's and don'ts from the wedding itself. It's very, very important. And conveying this to your vendors or contractors, that is the most important thing. So you need to keep an eye and respect that this property itself carries its own value and aesthetics and heritage. And you need to actually, any property in that matter, you need to respect that and have a understanding with whoever you're working with, whether it's your team or your vendors.
Okay. Prerna, what are your views apart from what Indu has just spoken about? I am sure palaces in Rajasthan are uh, quite actual palaces, and putting a heavy light or putting a heavy speaker, or creating a stage in the garden, or wherever. How you come across those kind of situations, or have you been in such kind of situations where there has been some issues?
So, anyways, we are a fan of minimalism, and we when we do a wedding, we say it's an experience that we take back. When you're working with a destination, you're taking an experience. So it's not about heavy set designs. It's about an entire experience that you're building. In a heritage property, we advise our clients that we have to just accentuate it. You just have to add to the existing character of the property. It's not that you can go ahead and build something totally different, something which doesn't go with the property. If you want to do that, let's take you to a place where there is a playing ground. But if you are in a heritage property, you have to respect the character of the property and just add on to it. It cannot be another theme, another character that you build over and above the property because there'll be a conflict there.
Okay.
That's what we advise our clients.
So Rita, you also take care when the weddings or maybe 250 people guest comes in. I don't know ever any Indian have been to your place yet. Maybe after this show, I'm sure people would like to. Can you hear me, Rita?
Sorry, because I have a problem. Excuse me for everybody, because I have a problem with my connection.
Okay, so I'll come
So
back to
I
you.
hear you
Can you-
perfectly, but I have the
Okay,
question.
okay.
The question is, it's about the Indian. If I host the Indian wedding for a lot of people,
My question, I'll just repeat my
your
question.
question.
I think, yeah, there's a time lag between my voice and yours. So my question was how you safeguard your farm, which is in acres and a huge lawn you have from any wedding functions, to make sure that nothing goes wrong. The trees are safe, the grass is safe, and the heritage which you built in 1932 remains intact. I think she's gone. Some bad internet. I thought it happens only in India, but I'm a little happy now that my internet is good. Uh, Edgardo, I have a similar question, but I'll just change it from heritage to iconic. Like if you want to do something in Dolby Theater or Dolby
Yeah.
or an Oscar show thing, those
Yes.
kind of places. How you make sure? I am sure the weddings in US are not like in India, which is like 600 or 700 people, sometimes maybe 2,000 also. Uh, so I'm sure there is a different parameters which you look after
Correct.
and make sure nothing goes
Yes.
wrong.
Well, I have to. I can talk from my experience. I'm being. I have a really good training here in America because we go with more rules than Europe or India or another part of the world. Where yes, when you work in heritage or iconic properties, here you have so many rules. For example, here we have the syndicate. The syndicate works in certain properties like the Dolby Theater you mentioned. Only the people on stage they can work is a certain kind of group they can work in there. So as a designer, I can go and work with them, but I cannot touch anything.
Ah,
So they have to move everything for me on stage, and I have to point the finger, for example. Everything has to be flame proof. Everything has to be fire retardant. So there are things and be training to respect the property to the stream. So when I go to Europe or I'm going to another part of the world, like I'm being in Romania in the Dracula castle, in the Bran castle, we did something there, and also in Italy when we do something in some palaces or castles there, it's more relaxed than in America. So we come with, and of course, we come with all the respect and go with the flow with what the manager of the property asking for. And for example, here you cannot even cut a small branch of a tree in a in some properties. So yes, the difference is big between America and Europe or India or Asia. Yes.
I
Yes.
got your point. Rita, can you hear me now? I think we hear so many times on television when a journalist is talking and the suddenly sound goes back. Unfortunate. Uh, Prerna, coming to you on this, my question is when you plan a wedding, how important it's to be a modern, because with the modern services attached to it, because in today's world, uh, it becomes very difficult. Some people, when they plan wedding, Wi-Fi has to be good. I need only big cars to be there. I need transportation of so much stuff, blending with the modern services. How you make sure that the, or you tell the client in before only, okay guys, you are going to a fort, maybe these things will not be present, or certain things will be available.
So, no, we don't tell them that because they're going for a wedding. Everything that has to be done for the wedding should be there. Our style is a little Indo contemporary, wherein we fuse the traditions and the auspicious functions are there, but we kind of add a little modern touch so that it does appeal to both the youngsters and the parents, both, right? And while our services are totally professional and they're on international standards with all process controls and SOPs laid down, the essence of the wedding is very traditional because it's on a heritage property, and the decor is a little contemporary, so that it gives an Indo-contemporary feel to it. So a mix of modern and tradition, which appeals to everyone. So there's something for everyone there, and of course, the essence of the heritage has to be kept. That is very very essential. But we can have some modern services like the pyros or some fireworks, not from the property, from behind, to kind of give that a sense of the wedding and a little contemporary feel.
Uh, a question which is related to this only. When you go to a property in Rajasthan or maybe Mysore or somewhere, uh, how demanding are the Indians? We all know they want everything, and that's it. Uh, have you figured out or faced a situation where like the palace is in, like, around palace there is nothing, maybe few people have to stay in different hotels, you have to bring your own props, or you fabricate your props in the places, like Edgardo has a huge 120,000, I don't know, meters or feet warehouse where he has everything there. So how you transport these things to the wedding area? And the same question after you, Indu, can answer.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, first to you, yes.
Okay. So, yeah, so all these props have to be transported. Logistics is a challenge. I will not say it is easy. It's like we were doing event at Lake Palace, Udaipur. Now everything has to go by boat. There is nothing. It's an island. Nothing can go by transport or in a truck. It has to be first put in a boat and then put. Now it's not made for weddings. It's a very narrow entry, and they have a back entry, but that is also narrow. So you have to buffer time. It's really challenging because anything that can be done in an open ground in say about an hour takes at least 4 hours there. So you have to have that much more manpower, that much more buffer in hand, and also to keep it simple. What is feasible? What can happen? Because uh, if it's a narrow passage, you have to understand that how much ever manpower you keep, they cannot pass
Yeah,
from
yeah,
that
yeah.
passage.
There's
Uh,
something like Leela Palace also has a problem when you there's a back entry which is a very narrow entry. Uh, Indu, what you have to say on the similar question?
Well,
Me?
when it comes to
Indu.
logistics,
Okay.
when it comes to logistics, I think it's very important. Pre-planning is very important. How you're going to transport these items, or whether it's equipment, whether it's props, whether it's decor, and how delicate these materials or props or decor are, and how safely you can transport them is very important. And it's basically all about planning, and it's a teamwork between the venue that you're selecting and your team and the vendors again. So planning is very important, and having the amount of time required, and allocating that time is also equally important, is what I think, when it comes to logistics. And also selecting the venue, as in how far you can actually carry these and all of this.
Okay. Sanjay, I have next question. You have already told in the initial when you were talking about you blend in the modern services. You have everything which today's guest needs. Uh, uh, my question is to you, as you said, you have international visitors as well, and maybe big events. How demanding they are vis-a-vis Indians, and how you make sure that your approach towards the client and the wedding planner uh, remains the same with the complete honesty, and ensure, or is it that you more focus on the traditional approach rather than going into complete modern way, or you tell, okay, you cannot have this in my hotel because it's a traditional hotel, we will not allow this.
Yeah, Akhil, actually, now if we are talking about the Indian weddings or the Indians, those who are doing, they change, to be very honest, they change plan last moment also. So for them, we have to be ready with some sort of, second line or backup plan. But as far as the international weddings are concerned, they are more focused in black and white, and everything is, well shared with the hotel or the event team, and that organized in a much better way. But in the Indian weddings, a lot of Indians and the family involves, and you know how the close relations matter in terms of the close family members. So in that case, there are certain demands, different demands last moment, and we know how to cater them and make them happy. So we are doing that.
Okay, can you hear us, Rita, now?
Sorry, excuse me, because I try to have the other location where it's
No
possible to
problem.
talk video.
I
It's
now
weird.
how and my question to you is because you have missed certain things, you can just give me a small 1 minute rundown of your property and what you expect to be there, because we have lost little time, and the whole espousal people are saying that we have only 5 to 7 minutes, but I would like to give you that, and because I have two more questions.
Okay, so I only, if I speak of about this Tesoro, it's we made by Massimo, my husband, and I. So it's a long story from our family, and then when arrived the bride and groom, I asked them that trust of me, of my experiences, because it's 20 years that work in these activities, and then I like that. The people, I think that is very important to customize for each bride and groom the perfect wedding, and then to realize every desire, and then the dreams. No, they have a dreams that we made. We spend a lot of efforts to come true. And then in Il Tesoro, I think our characteristic is simple, is authenticity. Because we like, when I think about the love of the day of the wedding is authentic, no? It's so this principal characteristic is authenticity for this reason. And then I think that the bride and groom, I have a lot of them that say thank you. We are very happy because I follow each moment. I'm very in the zone. For all kind of services, vendors, and then we have our food. We are farm to table destination, so we are our food present also historic buildings. So it's something special for sure. Heritage property. I think that it's possible to define this Tesoro like heritage
Thank you.
property.
Thank you, Rita.
Sorry.
Thank you. I think we are running out of time. maybe one more thing, the millennials are getting married nowadays, and I don't know what we will call them after 10 years. Uh, Edgardo, Indu, and Prerana, how you cope up, and what is the key takeaway for you for the future bride and grooms, basically? And I know it is very difficult to say that okay, we will do this or that after understanding their complete checklist. And also, last question: how long it takes to close a wedding for three of you? We can start with Prerana.
Oh, what?
Yeah, the time the query comes in and to close is about a month for us, between 15 days to a month. Because of course, when they're speaking with us, they're also speaking to other planners. So it takes to about two meetings at least before we can close. And these days, I think COVID has taught us to do Zoom meetings. So it's faster. Otherwise, we had to travel to the destination, the city they're living in, and all that. But it's a little more faster nowadays. So it takes about 15 days to a month from the time.
And second question: future brides and grooms. How do you think heritage is important to them, or they would like to do in an theater which Edgardo does, like completely modern, different setup completely? And what is your key takeaway for the future brides and grooms?
They like heritage. It's not they don't like heritage. And somehow I think because of our website and all, people who come to us already know that we are very inclined towards palaces and forts. So they come with that mindset that we are anyways going to a planner who understands these palaces and forts a lot in detail, and they will be able to create something around that. And that's how they're intrigued. And of course, we have a very young team, so mostly my team is around the age of the bride and groom, and they really connect. And they tell them that what can happen at a heritage property vis-a-vis a very plain ground or a very modern aesthetic.
Indu, what you have to say, last closing words, and after that, Edgardo and Sanjay.
Well, about what you asked, Akhil, I think, knowingly or unknowingly, something, what happens in weddings is that for the history of time, people have been getting married, and we have different cultures, and whatever wedding that we do, tying the knot, we do bring in our tradition and customs in doing, in tying the knot, basically. So unintentionally or not, we've been carrying this heritage for decades of years, and it's very important to have the touch of heritage. And I believe that it will always be there, whether it's millennials or not. So yes, that
Thank
is
you.
my look on it.
Edgardo, yeah, closing comments on the same, and how long it takes? 7 months from the wedding day, or 1 month, or a year, because you have to book places.
Well, depends. It all depends of everything. I have done celebrity weddings in 3 weeks. I have done weddings take me a year. I prefer to do a fast mode than takes too long, because when it takes too long, is so many people get involved, so many opinions, and I don't like that. So, but it really advised to all the new couples to get when they want to get married in a heritage property, to do a checklist. And I'm going to do. I have an anecdote of the day of my wedding. I got married in the Bel Air Hotel, and one of my dear friends say, "Oh, I need to retouch. I need to use a restroom." I said, "Okay, take the key of my room and go and check it out." Short story: she got locked in the bathroom. And past like an hour, like, where is she? Where is she? Oh, she's in the bar. Well, what's happened? It's an old property, and she got locked, and nobody can hurt her. So
Oh God.
it's things like that. The event planner, they have to check like electrical sources, parking, security, um, the floor plans, or they create. They not interfere with the rest of the guests if they don't buy out the whole property, because when you don't buy the whole property, you don't do a buyout. You are in the middle of a property with another guest, and they don't want to be disturbed. I want to go to sleep at 10 p.m. I don't want to go to sleep at 3 a.m., as a guest. So this kind of thing, they really, and of course,
Have you done any Indian weddings?
of course, we have a big Indian community here. Yes.
That's good to hear. How you cope up. Thank you. Thank you, Edgardo. Sanjay, your closing comments? You're mute.
No,
Now I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as the wedding is concerned, it takes sometime a year before they confirm the venue, and then slowly they gradually they come to check the list. They want to see the rooms, and then they want to do 2-3 rounds with the different event planners, how they want to execute this wedding, or that comes in a royal wedding kind of thing. So, and sometime it takes 6 months or 3 months time. It's purely depends on the wedding dates
And availability.
and availability. Two things are very important.
All right. I think I've been getting messages. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you to Arvind, especially for bringing us all together. Uh, thank you, Edgardo. I think it's morning for you. Ready to work. We are going to sleep in 2 hours. Thank you, Indu. Thank you, Prerana.
Thank you
It
so
was
much.
after almost a year we are meeting. We met in Dubai uh, during the event. And I hope to see you guys soon, maybe in part of India. Edgardo and unfortunately Rita is not here. I would like to thank her presence and hope the viewers were able to get some inputs from our discussion, though it could have gone for an hour. I have many questions. I thought I'll ask personal questions because I'm on a different side right now. Earlier, I used to be inside of what Sanjay is doing, not anymore. So thank you guys. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you, Espousal, for bringing all of us together. Thank you, guys. Shivangi, if you're there, please.
Thank you, Akhil.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It has been a lovely day and a wonderful session.